Good morning, guys. It's another weekend. It's been a few weeks since I was able to get anything done on the wagon, car shows and everything else that goes in between. Since then, within the last few weeks, Jeremiah started in on the wiring on it, which is a big task. We got the rear bumper that you saw getting rebuilt. That's back on the car. Today I'm going to try to stay ahead of Jeremiah on the wiring and focus on some dash stuff. I'm in between putting a hydro boost on versus running the master cylinder and booster setup that I have for it already for clearance reasons on the coil packs. So that's something I got to figure out. Get all the brake lines ran. I'm on the fence whether to put rear disc on it or not. I do have everything to rebuild the drums, which should be just fine. I'll probably do that. So all the little things are what takes forever. Start chipping away on this thing. I still need to make that list. I've talked about it several times. First step in making a list is to make a list, to remind yourself to make a list. I think that's how that goes. But wagon's coming along pretty good. We'll see what I can get done today. Probably won't be on it tomorrow. Next weekend we got a car show. Little work here and there, but it all adds up. So let's get it done. All right, some other things that I remember we need to do. We got a battery tray here, and that goes right there in that corner. But there should be a welded on bracket here that tray sits on. That's gone. I don't know where that went. Somebody cut this thing off. Years ago, a 605 quick ratio steering box was put in. Super crooked. We just tore all that out when we put the rack and pinion in. However, I need to come up with a bracket to hold that battery. Batteries are important. We got the ECM from the last video, it's in there. We got the fuse panel. The hood spring will sit right here. And we also got some of the engine stuff coming on here, headlight stuff actually. It'll get routed through here nice and clean. Drop that radiator in it, finish bolting this core support on. Then I can get all the plumbing, wrap up that AC stuff. That's really what I should be working on. I don't know, we're just going with the flow right now here. Try to pick something. I have all this pile of dash trim here. I was gonna get fitted. I did buy a set of dash trim pieces from Auto City. Yeah, I think that's what it was, Auto City. And they look like stickers, and not thrilled on that, but perhaps they're made to fit inside of the dash trim. I don't know. But if they're not, then I'm probably just gonna polish those out and put them on. Inside here, see Jeremiah's been plugging away on some of the wiring stuff. We got the OBD2 interface right there, Dakota Digital. We also have this Dakota Digital panel right here. That's for the gauges we're going to be running. Fuse panel will go in there. You can see it right there. That's a American Auto wire. They're great. We run them in everything. Here's the gauge panel here. That's what we're going to run in there. Nothing crazy, just kind of a black face. It'll be blue backlight, I think. It's been a while since I looked at it. But you can see the dash trim here. So that aluminum stainless, or aluminum stainless, the aluminum inserts that go around there need to go on first so we can sandwich it in there with the radio and clock and all that stuff. So I'm probably gonna work on that today, trying to stay ahead of him and get that stuff in there so we can start finishing up the wiring and connecting everything together. There's still a ton of stuff to do on here, so I just need to pick something to work on. I think I'll try to figure out the dash stuff right now and see what I need to do with that. If I'm hoping those sticker inserts fit inside the aluminum dash pieces, because the aluminum's a little beat up, and that'll look nice in there. So all right, so here's the original gauge cluster aluminum piece that came out of the car. We got bunches right here, all that stuff. This is what we got from Auto City Classics. Kind of has a pattern. I don't know if you can see that. Like little dots or something. But what I'm thinking is that this drops right down on there. It's a little tight around the openings here, but I think I can massage that in. And then looking at it, the rest of this edging here kind of looks like hell. It's been in there when it was painted. So I think what I need to do, yeah, you can see there's blue and stuff all over the place. Yeah, so what I think I'm gonna do is hit this on the wheel, try to get that stuff cleaned up, at least the stuff you can see. And then this looks like a, come on now. Yeah, peel and stick. I'll get all the perimeter stuff polished out, get this crud cleaned off of here. That doesn't sound like any fun, but you know, it's all got to go on there. So we'll get those cleaned up, get it ready for it, and then we can start putting that stuff in the car. Alright guys, I got all the aluminum here cleaned up. Basically just, you know, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I usually just use like a straight blade, and the paint just pops right off. The beauty of doing a quickie paint job on these things like was done previously is that they didn't mask much on here. You got a bunch of overspray, and because it wasn't prepped, it just popped right off. And then I went around with it with some red Scotch-Brite here, just gently cleaned out all the edges that I'm gonna polish. So we're just gonna polish corners here all the way around, because those sticker inserts just sit on the flat portions there. So, and then we got some extra stainless pieces here. These guys are not in bad shape actually. They should polish up pretty easy. These parts here with the holes in them, they scare me. If you ever used the stainless wheel, the big buffer, they can get ruined in a real hurry. So it's going to take some patience and maybe a little luck, and we'll try not to wad these things up. So the aluminum is super fragile, so I'm going to try to make these look better, but there's a chance I could completely ruin them. That's where all the excitement's at. So onto the buffer. All right guys, this is our buffer here, 1.5 horse. We do our stainless and aluminum and all that stuff on it. Works pretty good. Affectionately known as the wheel of death. It's taken a few parts with it. Best thing to do is be careful, don't blink, try to get this stuff shined up, but it does wonders. It works really, really well. It's not too big of a buffer, it's not too small. It'll do what we need to do for this, and we'll see if we can make these shiny. Alright guys, not gonna lie, that was nerve-wracking. Spindly little aluminum is tough to polish. So using the 2x4 to secure your parts, especially ones that have holes and stuff in it, critical. You don't want that thing ripping out of your hand. With this one here, admittedly, it caught this corner and just folded it like that. So if that wasn't attached to 2x4 where I had a good hand on it, it would have launched it, and something or somebody might have got hurt. So anyway, be real careful when you're using these wheels. So I was able to straighten this piece back out where it looks okay. It looked better before it was mangled, but I got all the other pieces I'm going to clean up, and yeah, get it prepped and ready to stick on that inserts on there, and I think it'll be okay. Later I might go and I think they reproduce these center pieces here, so I may get another one. We'll see, but it's not horrible. I'll probably stare at it the whole time driving, but yeah, anyway, be careful. Alright guys, I got all the stainless out, went ahead and polished up this clock one. That was a scary piece to do as well. But we got all the panels laid out, and I actually think they look pretty good. Originally, to be honest, I actually thought that When I ordered these, they were the entire aluminum bezel. At least I have the inserts. My last wagon did not have the inserts, so all this aluminum trim. So once we get those, they've all been cleaned up underneath. These guys here, might hit those with a polisher too. Those help kind of lock those down as well. But yeah, should look pretty good. I do got to polish the glove box lock for that. Like I said, we got the clock that goes there. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Looks like some peel and stick, so if I can do that right, these should look pretty decent, or at least driver quality, as they say. Right now I'm trying to gather up all the parts. I got all the inserts put in, everything. For the most part they fit pretty good. They are stickers, so hopefully they stay. I think once we put all the accessories and stuff in there, they'll work. I'm looking for my lock right now. I did get these polished up. I figured, you know, since I'm in here anyway, might as well do it. We got the old gauge cluster here, which I know I'm gonna need to use this. I'll dig out the Dakota Digital one here shortly. Got the radio over here, which I'm not going to use, but for now, just use it to fill the hole in the dash. Yeah, or leave it out for now. I don't know. Right now, I'm on a mission to find the lock for this so I can polish it up and get the rest of this thing put together. So as soon as I have that, I can put the dash or the glove box together and then start assembling the dash. So the search is on. One thing off the list, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, these colors go together good. Just re-looped up the back stuff. I probably could have painted it, maybe later. Trying not to get too deep in this thing, but while I'm in it, I might as well clean up some stuff. Anyway, now I think I'm going to tackle this gauge cluster and see what's involved there in getting this swapped over. Might have got a little ahead of myself here, risking my life, buffing this clock piece out right here. Turns out you don't see any of it. Go figure. So here's the original clock. Sorry for the shadows. Original clock, it's seen some better days. So this bezel sits over the outside of it like that. Well, I ended up finding another clock. This one's all been restored and it looks fantastic. There's that bezel that you can't see. So I'll probably just leave it on there. It comes into the back side of this guy here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna throw that in the dash and see what that looks like. Nope, couldn't leave it alone. Went through all that effort to polish that thing out. I'm gonna swap it on there anyway, even though you can't see it. Yep. Came out pretty good for what it is, I think. That looked pretty nice. Put the other side in here too. The instrument cluster will help hold that one in. And I got that radio right there, and I'm not sure what to do about that. I know it doesn't work, but the thing takes up a ton of space. It'd be nice to have dash space behind it. So I'm gonna take a peek at it and see if we can use it for looks. I'm gonna do Bluetooth in here eventually, so it'll just be there for look. If I can downsize it, then it's a win-win. So I'll take a peek at it. All right, here's the radio. Not in great shape, but I do have all the knobs and everything. It looks like I can unscrew the face, or at least takes the cover off anyway. And then I think I can downsize this thing a little bit. try to save some of this room. I got another one of these at home, so I'm not too worried about it. I think it might even be in better shape, but yeah, this is all melted out of there. Very nice. Let's see what's inside of here. I got that thing blown apart. Might have been kind of hard to watch. I usually don't like tearing up stuff. This radio is pretty toast though. And like I said, I do have a backup one. But yeah, trying to downsize it here. So I'm gonna do a few things so the face looks like it's somewhat together and functional and fills the hole in the dash. That's my goal. You can't even see through right there where the buttons used to be. Pretty cool little setup here though, I have to say. All the little push buttons and pretty genius. Do some modifications to this thing here and get it back together. All right, got the stereo all cleaned up here, or the face of it anyway. Not much going on back here. Had to tack that knob right there to hold that, but just cleaned it up. Got the facing done. Wanted to spare you some of the cleaning excitement, but let's I think we're about ready to throw this thing in. Let's throw it in. Well, there you have it. It's in there. It's a weird gap above here. Not sure what's going on with that. This whole dash looks like it's kind of separated through there, but I don't know. Who knows? That one's in. This one's in. That one's in. Glow box is down, but I'm going to leave it out so we can get up in here. And we're going to have the shift in, or the heater controls here. We got to modify for the vintage air. Set up here. We've got the ashtray here. Could probably put that in. I'm trying to leave openings to get through here. So I think the next thing to do may be to get the gauge cluster together back there on the table. See what's involved with that. Dash is starting to brighten up here. I was worried there was too much blue, so this definitely helps break it up a little bit. Could get the speaker grill in too, but it's more access to get in there as well, so I don't want to completely close this dash off here. I'm just kind of leaving it open, but yeah, let's see what that Dakota Digital looks like. All right, so Dakota Digital, this is the VHX setup here. I went with kind of a basic setup here. This is what we're replacing. You know, it's just scratchy and faded, and this Dakota Digital here will talk to the LS nicely. Everything's updated. It should be a pretty good setup. Let's dive into it and see what it takes to get this thing swapped over. Well, that's it in a nutshell. Pulled out the gauge cluster, all the lenses. We had 3 rivets we had to drill out, and this housing is essentially ready for the new VHX system. I'm going to clean up this chrome a little bit here because it's out and all that stuff. So we'll clean that up and then we'll get the new one put in. Just gave this thing a little 4/0 steel wool and some of this metal polish cream from Blue Magic. I've used Mother's, used a lot of different products, but 4/0 steel wool seems to do the trick. I mean, this chrome here is not in great shape, but it certainly came around a lot nicer, so for what you can see, but might as well. Now it looks like we're on to putting that VHX system into the gauge bezel, and yeah, let's do it. All right, we got that all put in there. Man, that was pretty straightforward, I have to say. And we got this guy will drop down on top of there, and I guess that's kind of it. I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna do with shift indicator. We're not putting that in, so I think we'll probably black it out or do something. Looks pretty dang slick. Let's see what the next step is. All right guys, that's gonna do it for today. Just about got this dash wrapped up and it looks amazing. It came out really good. I'm happy with the way things look, especially compared to how they did look. We put the inserts in it, modified the radio, Dakota Digital in there. Yeah, just really brighten this dash up here. Obviously we've got things to finish, more wiring, AC to put in, all that good stuff, but it's coming a long ways and this is a good jump. So thank you guys for joining me again this time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you guys got anything to say about what we got going on here. We'll just carry on, keep moving on with this build here as we go, little by little, and hopefully be on the road here soon. So until next time, thanks guys.